Hi, this is April from Fire at KindleNationDaily.com. There's our URL right there, fire.kindlenationdaily.com. And today I'm going to be talking to you about basic Kindle Fire maintenance and a couple of essential accessories you might want to have. Okay, first off, let's look at these covers. Now this one from Poetic is a leather cover. Many covers, leather or not, will have a strap like this to keep the cover closed. And this one has a particularly nice feature. It's actually a two-piece case, and they're connected with a snap that allows you to pivot the Kindle without removing it from the case, and then you can easily switch from landscape to portrait orientation. And it has these ridges built into the cover so that you can select different viewing angles. Now this case from M-Edge is an imitation leather case. It also has the ridges that serve that same function of allowing the cover to act as a stand. So that's a good feature to look for when you're looking for a case. Now, if you have a cover for your Fire, it's a good idea to put some type of a protector on it, which will make it easier to clean, can divert spills and that sort of thing. If you have a leather cover like this one, then you're going to want to use a leather protector. This is the one that I've used. It's actually from Kiwi, and it's designed for use on leather shoes, but anything that's designed for use on leather will work for your leather case. This one, your basic Scotch Guard, will work on a fabric case, an imitation leather case, neoprene, nylon, those sorts of materials. And you just want to be sure, whichever type of protector you're using, that you put that on the case before you put the Kindle in the case, so that you don't end up overspraying onto the Kindle itself. Now, another item that you might want to look into is a glare screen or a glare reduction screen. Different products have different names, but it's basically a protective film that you put over the screen that also cuts glare. Now, this one in the red case doesn't have that protective glare film. The one in the purple case does, and I'm going to demonstrate here what a difference it makes. You see, there's without, there's with. So even before I turn it on, you can see a pretty significant difference. This is even more pronounced once they're turned on. So go ahead and demonstrate that. Okay, so now they're both turned on, and there's your carousel. Okay, there's the reflective image of my hand. Here you really can hardly see it at all. Very clear there. Pretty much disappears over here. And you can control glare to some extent by adjusting the viewing angle, but without the glare guard there's really an upper limit of how much glare avoidance you're going to get. So a glare film could be a good idea if you like to read outdoors or in any kind of highlight conditions. Also, I wanted to mention, when you're applying your glare guard film, don't worry if you are having difficulty getting every single last tiny bubble out, because while you can't necessarily see it here, this one that I applied actually does have some tiny little bubbles, and what I noticed is once I turn the device on, you really can't see them. So before you give up and start over, if you've got a couple tiny bubbles, turn it on and see if those bubbles don't disappear. Now, while we're speaking about the screen, you want to clean your screen using something that is designed for optical equipment, such as cameras, glasses, something like that. You don't want to just reach for your Windex out of the kitchen, because that has ammonia. Usually, as there's some formulas that don't, but any type of glass cleaner with ammonia or other harsh chemicals, you want to avoid that. So it's better to use something that's designed for use with eyeglasses or with camera equipment. What I use is this that I got from my eye doctor, actually, with my glasses. It's just a little kit with a soft cloth and a lens cleaner. so you can use any type of material like that. Also, to avoid getting the smudges and fingerprints in the first place, you can use a stylus. And I really like using the stylus, not only for that reason, but because it gives you finer control than using your fingers. Even though my hands are pretty small, you know, the tip of the stylus is still quite a bit smaller. So if you're using any function that requires fine control, such as the web browser, the stylus can really be a handy little tool. This particular one is from Vertec, and it has this little plug on the end that plugs into the earphone jack of your Kindle Fire. It doesn't have any type of power or function in the earphone jack. It's just a handy holder, so that when you pick up your Kindle with your stylus plugged in, it's not going to go anywhere. You don't have to remember to always be picking up the stylus when you pick up the Kindle. Now, last thing I want to mention is shutdown versus sleep mode. Now, if you just touch the power button real quickly on the side of your Kindle to turn it off, you're not actually shutting it down. You're just putting it in a sleep mode. This makes it start right up again the next time you turn it on. So if you're only going to have it off for a short time, 20 minutes or so, that's a handy little feature. But if you know it's going to be off for hours, then you should really completely shut it down to save your battery life. And to do that, you press and hold the power button until you see this screen. Do you want to shut down your Kindle? And you want to select shut down. Now this is going to completely shut it down. It won't be using any more battery power. It will take longer to start up the next time you turn it on, but in the long run you're going to be glad if you get in the habit of doing that, because your rechargeable battery will last a lot longer. So there you have it, some introductory maintenance tips and essential accessories. Hope to see you over on Fire at KindleNationDaily.com, where we have a lot of features having to do with content, bargain alerts, free content, and much more. So hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.